So being disconnected from your ancestry is the biggest suicide or genocide you can commit on yourself, because all the other races don't play with connecting to your ancestry. No race apart from black people. Who's an ancestor?
That's a complex subject. When we talk about ancestor, we are talking about ancestry. You know, we can't talk about ancestor without mentioning the ancestry. And when we are talking about ancestry, we are talking about the past, the present, and the future. And when we talk about the past, then we are talking millions and millions and millions of years, even before like pre-existence, you know. And if you're talking about ancestry, then we are also talking about animals, not only human beings, but animals that we are also connected with, you know, as totems. When we are talking about ancestry, we are talking about plants that you are also connected with, you know, with your DNA and spiritually. You know, we are talking about river bodies that you are also connected with. We are talking about like medicines. We are talking about so many different ways and so many different philosophies and systems of life that you are connected with. So to be an ancestor is someone who embodies the past, the present, and the future. Somebody who has gone through a transformational journey, you know, who is alive. You can be an ancestor while you are still alive. You don't have to be someone who is past. You understand? Because the same ancestors that they do what they reincarnate, Abebiu. That's why we name people or we name children Abebiu, because these are ancestors that have returned. They have come back again. You know, so with the system that we practice, we know the ancestors are living, the ancestors are still in the realms, and then some of them are still yet to be born. So when we talk about ancestor basically means somebody who actually embodies the qualities of the philosophies of life of his or her people, living or dead.
So, in a nutshell, we are like a walking representative of our ancestors, because from two families, this one marrying from this family, coming together to be a clan, and the plants, and the food, and everything. And as we grow, I want to atwaso na ewu na yeko na yeba na yekosono. Now, the ancestors and everyone, some of the ones who were able to get to the Ananahu, their God mode, ascend higher. Those who did left generational legacy for their bloodlines. Those who embodied everything and became great people at whatever trade they were doing, being a healer or a comfort or a farmer or a builder, whatever that you achieve and embody, and most of your bloodline picks from you. And in Africa, most houses is built on an altar. So most of the time, to start a family, someone moves to a village and then starts, and then build on a land that they are given an altar that this is my land, this is where I'm going to, the generation from me, Masin Twatwa, so be free, Abba. It's no the idea, so. Na on wumpo, na wakosre bosombi, and wakosre sumaibi. No the abisiwo. Na fe ne ma koso, na omo koso. And na ye did rituals, say akwasidei, ukudei, festivals, and other things to feed those spirits so the family can continue to grow and grow and grow. A lot of people with the influence of Christianity and Western relationship and religion ran away from those things and said they didn't want to have anything to do with it. But blood is who you are. You're connected to your ancestors on the bloodline. So is there prayer that have survived you up to now? You are a reincarnation of an old ancestor who have come, and you decide to disconnect from your roots. That altar that you have in your house, that is your roots. So when you leave it, you will get sick. You will have so many problems. Sometimes the family gets placed, people die because you have no roots in the family now. So most of the modern healing we are doing is more even spiritual than physical. We are helping people just go back and reconnect to their roots. And all the things connect. Because once you listen to them with all these problems and you ask them, do you go home? Have you connected to your roots? Do you have an ancestry? Every person in Africa had that. Once you break from your ancestral line, whatever curse that your ancestral line and root was protecting you from, you are out of it, so it can't protect you from it. And we think we can find it outside in a religion that doesn't belong to us. But it won't work. That's why the most sickest people in the world are in churches and in the mosque. Because there's no healing there. You've disconnected from your true healing. We are even eating things that our ancestry is not supposed to eat for our DNA, to preserve it. We are doing things on different days. Some are even wearing colors that are not supposed to be worn by their bloodline. We've lost identity of ourselves. And if a tree don't know what tree it is, how can it fruit? It doesn't know. You are a confused person. So your ancestors is you knowing those who came before you, paying allegiance to them, the rivers that they protected, the forests that they revered. Because all this knowledge that we are having, the juju and everything, is to do something good for the next generation, for the present generation, for the next generation. And something good, what is better than protecting the river bodies? What is life? What is better than protecting the forest? Which is give food, which is shelter. So all these things, when we broke away from our ancestors and our roots, we saw them as evil and nothing else and decided to destroy them. So part of connecting to ancestry is also to help us connect to the real bodies we are even mining galamsey and destroying right now, presently. Because if you know your ancestors drank from this river when they were lost in the forest, the first person who came before you, lost in this forest, he was a hunter or someone who was thirsty, and then he went and came and met this river, drank some and said, I'm going to build my village here, my house here, and build around it. And then you came and you disconnected from them. You will come and mine gold in there. You've disconnected from ancestry. So most of the evil going on in Africa right now is us disconnecting from ancestry. Because all African leaders who are committing all the evil and all the corruption are religious people who have no connection to the ancestors. That is why all the revolutions failed. Malcolm X, the Martin Luther, all of the greats, they were practicing other people's religion. They were disconnected from the ancestry. So we connect, no revolution in Africa will work if we are disconnected from ancestry. So when we talk about ancestors and Sankofa, it's deeper and bigger than all of us combined. It is taking back what is rightfully ours, our land, our resources, from those destroying it, from those exploiting it. And rather giving it to the next generation, preserving it for them to come and benefit from it. That is why when anyone says ancestry, they vilify them, because they know once we wake up and connect to ancestry, their games are over. Their chemicals they are selling you will be over, because now you are taking herbs which no one owns. Now you are taking from the garden. You are not buying the tin tomatoes and all the things they are selling you. You are coming to take back what you had, and then with the modern knowledge that we have, build on it and take it to the next level. So instead of just using juju to just find direction, which our ancestors had, we look at GPS system and then we are amazed. But we've demonstrated here a deity can show you direction. And this is an old knowledge that we have. But we didn't know, but we are fascinated by GPS. But we had it. So connecting back to your ancestors and the deities and what they did will help you do even bigger things. We won't just levitate. We can maybe what they were trying to do with time traveling, we can do it. Instead of sitting in a car and going to Benin, we can just, because someone had mastered that ritual that makes it so good. It's the science, the art. That is what it is. Mastering the art. We've lost all of them. Most of the people in Benin have it in the rawest form, but it's not to keep in the rawest form. It's supposed to refine and take it to the next level. So the next batch, and there's new age healers and diviners and all of us combined with the Western education and then with the raw knowledge of the ancestors that we have and the gift they've given us. We are coming to take it to the next level. And that is when you make things levitate and take you to different places. That's when we can go to the moon. Because the people of Dogon and Mali, with their gift of the ancestors and knowledge that they had, they knew all the Milky Way galaxy, they could map up the sky and everything. They were travelers because they knew how to use the stars to travel. What happened to all that knowledge? It should be a common knowledge for every African child now. But we lost it because we thought it was evil. So the Sankofa is going back to reconnect to help us develop in a way and find organic solutions. Our ancestors never had chemical solutions to any problem. All they had was organic solutions. Solutions that were healing and saving the next generation and the environment. Because we saw God in everything. We didn't see God outside of us. We saw God in everything. Another chi. Ejo. Juju. As a great teacher, Nana Bafo keeps saying, I learned a lot from him. The etymology of our words and the indigenous words like Ohene and so much things that we've lost. We've lost the significance of all of these things. And that is why we are in a race and going in circles and not doing anything. Because we have embraced the death culture on ourselves. And let go of the life culture. If you nipedia, when you say dia na bema won kwa, e bema won home, e ma wo dan adem, e ma wo yare, e ho aduro, e ma wo aduane adi. E be dan na wa say dia no. You are connected to it. You are part of it. How can you destroy part of you? That means you are killing yourself. So part of revering your ancestors and connecting to them is also knowing you are part of everything. You're not separate from anything. You are part of everything. And with the power that you have, the Ejojo, you can use whatever nature, that energy that you connect to, being in fire, being in the forest, being in the sun, being in air, to cause things to be and cause things to effect and take your power in your own hands and run with it. Instead of giving that power to someone, like a politician to come and clean your river body for you, like a politician to come and build your road for you, like a politician or a pastor to come and pray for you. You can do all these things by yourself because who you nyame? What can you now? It's moving here obi no be yama. You cause things to be. That is what rituals are for. Some people ma dream na duro bi ma dream pese me ya. Na me ntimi ho ya. Me be hu na na ba afo a. Or no more obetimi di aboa me because we are master in this art, his scientific art. He said yeah form, yeah a car, now we yeah engine, we yeah bonnet, we yeah a part, we electrical part. Different people with different ejojo. Bringing it together to connect and make something big. One. The phone, the motherboard, the processor is made by a different company, the capacitors are made by different companies, the screens are made by different companies. It's major journey yaresa. But for your journey spiritual, say oyi or breaking generational curses. Or boy a kwan mu amame na afede me di ro ne kan ya akora na ho ato no. It's me ro ne kan no na ho to me ro kan na ho to na. Ma frɛ nana we dey emi say wo say obam. If you say na nanom de bia na me kan o man sa yare anyi honhom amfiri mu da. If you say obetimi aye obi a wo ye yare safo kese ana wo ye bibia kese a wontimi ye honhom ni mfiri mu. Wo ye mechanic kra. Awo so ko na ti to wo na nanom honhom no. I don't know better say a be a oko carburetor on the commoda board. Instant be a better catch. If you say ombia ya practice. To be friend about for say, Mammy, me the do can I was Mammy Jim Kakra. Then another for him, or say, or say, the Musu from the bread, so Adaka. Then so Adaka, at the cock, or Jituma, ye boosted in or Casa Jatuma. Bones are filled in do can.
The instincts. When I say, did you catch him? Say, did you catch him?
And your higher self speaking to you. By if you say, yeah, you're the bonnet seno, you're the inside seno, you're the a bonnet air seno. I feel Cassachin quite piano. I feel Smink Cassancho, why the officer will never. And when I'm uncle 4 year generational cases near the end. Generational cases, and no man getting love for any tech. Monsieur, may have a once a maybe if you say, we just saw you. Healing is a dangerous business. You beat me ball cry because you are interrupting people's karma. So part of connecting to our ancestors are them bringing people who are supposed to come and help you accomplish specific tasks. It is here, I can't who are connected to your ancestors, near fat to me, no. Because Africa has one sign, I enable to be united. Everyone has a good ancestor. So when we unite around our ancestry, to say about for Benin, our name and anomaly dinner chipoeno, or more could be a crime and in the trance at your deba. Who say, and yet, Bibia or yeno, any different from your moyeno. Name Omodiano at the acquire new officer or Modia to watch it. It's in another for Diano, or Coyen, a man, a man, I don't be a crime and in the trance. 1 years from a coy, 1 Alan a coy, or didn't an unknown in the dinner in a cheap, in the can who shy, and or the coy. And who said your by and so, dear bay up word be mine, and maybe my account. And to the only me, dear me, I am quite fee, the uncle connected to yen and anom, the inform one tiechi. The anchor say, your objective say, you ever said 20 years and be my kaboom. You ever said Colabia who am I fashion. You ever said Obia di organic. It's no, then a bonfire we are near your rituals now. None of the dear ever bois, ama, sir, spare and I cast it to the universe. Obia dear ever become bones near accomplish it. It's be impossible if you say, oh, would you be out on the expert field? Ever back, I become home. I'm an I can say, now, feed your call.
Can you tell us more about ancestral reverence?
Well, ancestral reverence comes in different forms and it comes in different packages. One, we have ancestral reverence whereby great people in the family, in the clan, deities, powers, energies are fed or are spoken of or are adored to solicit their blessings, their protection, and their guidance. And the highest form of ancestral reverence is for you to manifest as a living person, to live to the fullness of the laws, to live to the fullness of the writs, the decrees of your forefathers, and to become a perfect human being, or what was envisaged as a perfect ancestral being. You understand who is powerful, who is knowledgeable, who is wealthy, and then who is conscious. So with that, if you're able to imbibe all these disciplines in you, and you keep evolving to the highest state that you could be, then you are reverencing the millions of people that have lived before you are now living, and you are also elevating the status of those that shall come after you, because you are also going to reincarnate in different forms. So whatever work you put in now, you are here at this position because some people put in previous work. So we are only putting in this work so that those that come after us, it becomes much more easier. So ancestral reverence is a lifestyle. What you eat, what you drink, what you wear, how you think, how you perceive things, how you approach a situation, your mindset, your belief system, how you pray, all those things is tantamount to ancestral reverence. Exactly, because it must connect you to whatever you do now, must connect you to the past while still preparing you for the future. Because whoever is going to reincarnate as you is nobody else but you, your own self. It's just your own soul that's going to come in a different time, in a different space, with a different civilization, and probably with a different tongue or different language.
So if I understand what Lenab is saying, that means part of ancestral reverence is also continue with the works of the grace, those who came before you.
Exactly.
So like Malcolm X, like Kwame Nkrumah,
yes.
What was he living for? Marcus Garvey, all those grace. The moment you see yourself as part of them and the continuity of them, so you are coming to continue their work.
Exactly.
But the moment you are severed from them and don't pay any reverence to them, that means you are coming to do something different from what they did.
Exactly.
And you don't see them as great. But once you connect back, you see what they were doing was for the benefit of us. So if they reincarnate back in us, they could come and enjoy a beautiful united Africa, which is in charge of its resources and all those things.
So our ancestors, they did things to help us move forward, like Kwame Nkrumah, Malcolm,
Bob
Marley, yeah.
Konfanoche, Nana Drobo. They went to war. Some died a lot for us. They shed their blood on, as I say, for us to have lands that we are eating on now. I say,
moving forward, right? There were some of our ancestors who came to do things, but I'm going to do it. They say, revolution, I say, you know, people who had good intentions for us. And as a generation of people, I say, you're heading towards, is downhill, fast. Watch us, until then, achieve our objective. What did they do wrong? And what can we also do to be able to move forward? You know, framework do or how I say a film, new framework there, say a film to be able to achieve our objective.
Yeah, they all came with one framework. The framework of Marcus Garvey was not different from that of Martin Luther King, was not different from that of Malcolm X. Kwame Nkrumah's framework was not different from Patrice Lumumba. Exactly. So nobody came with a different framework. It's the same framework, but they were all trying to interpret it based on the economics and the geopolitics of their environment. So what needs to be changed, like my brother said in the beginning, is for them to add an African science, like Kwame Nkrumah was trying to do. Kwame Nkrumah was the one that came closest to redefining that. So that's why Kwame Nkrumah was setting up the Africania Encyclopedia. And then that's why Kwame Nkrumah went all the way to India in 1963. Yeah, 1963, all the way to India to go and take the seal of the Ghana Psychic and Traditional Healers Association and to get the letterhead and the permit, from there. His vision was to put all the scientists, that is the spiritualists, the traditional priests, the magicians,
spiritual scientists,
all the spiritual scientists, put them under one umbrella together with the Orthodox. You understand? Yeah, so those, with the doctors and all those physicians and lab technicians, he was going to put all of them together. So, let the magicians, let the sorcerers, let the healers come up with their medicines. And your work is to be in the laboratory, just test to see what are the, active ingredients and the dosages and stuff like that.
Your spirituality.
Exactly. So everybody was just produce what you do, let the healers do what they do, and let the doctors and those people do what they also do. So that was Nkrumah's vision. So Nkrumah had it, Nkrumah saw it. That's why he was advocating for the African personality. And Nkrumah was a very staunch believer in the African traditional system. That is why Kwame Nkrumah came to Kwapim here. And then he personally made Nana Okorewa the first, for Latte. Nana Okorewa, the high priestess of Akonedi. He personally made her his priestess, So Nkrumah saw it, and Nkrumah tried to bridge the gap. But I think we just have to go with what Nkrumah, because Nkrumah was the only one that I saw was really trying to bring the voodoo, the inner circle.
So what did he do wrong?
The people didn't understand him. He was 100 years ahead of his time. You understand? He was 100 years ahead of his time.
He should have carried everybody
He
along.
was organizing a revolution around sleeping people.
Exactly. That's
People who were spiritually defeated. And it's not easy. That's what Malcolm X said. His biggest mistake was organizing a revolution around sleeping people. It doesn't work like that. He should have looked for the awakening and ascended masters.
Exactly.
And form a group and use it to form the light and wake up the people slowly, waking them up. So they will be on the same pedestal with him to accomplish that. Once these people have been broken spiritually, that their reverence is to a white deity, whatever you do, they will go and report. So they will be the one that will be used by their white deity or people looking like their white deity to come and destroy the good work you are trying to do for them. You are just doing for them. They're not even doing for others.
Their own self.
But they will kill you. Like zombies. When you watch a zombie movie, the people who are awake are running away from the zombies, because when they catch you, they will bite you and infect your blood to be like them. You can't wake them up. They are dead. So we should look for the people who are alive in this zombie apocalypse that we are living in, brain dead, and then be the light and let all the ones who are awake to come. Come and then use everyone's gift to push forward the objective. So the revolution isn't around one person. So if you can, you tell me what mistakes they made. We made the revolution around a person, and once the head of the snake is cut, the rest is rope. So once Malcolm X died, Hashimwa died, everything degenerates. But once we have a common objective, this is what we want for Africa. Africa that is controlling resources, Africa one army, Africa one currency. Okay, we are coming to unite it around our spirituality. So all the woke people in all the different African countries working together. This is what we are looking for. So whatever power and spirit and deity that we have, use it to let's manifest this by acting upon what we do to accomplish these things. So when I die, or another Balfour dies, or you die, or someone dies, there's someone ready to take over. The taking over is where we broke ourselves, and then we don't even want to know what happened, because we severed ourselves off so much that it's evil to even go back and see the person you were named after, what they were doing, what they were, it's for you to come and complete. So being disconnected from your ancestry is the biggest suicide or genocide you can commit on yourself, because all the other races don't play with connecting to your ancestry. No race apart from black people. The Pauls, the Peters are other people's ancestry. The Matthews, the Johns. And as long as you are connected to them and they see them as deities and they let you see them as deities, that God speaks through them, you always worship them. And take their word as truth above yours.
Gospel.
So we are revering them. And the original purpose was not serving our interests. So the reverence is in vain. You understand? So we have to revere different people who serve our interests.
Exactly.
That's how I understand it.
Exactly.
Sana Samampana yetuni bedin. Samampana yegun sawa busunyadema na nkunyadema yeboni din. Now, we did not call on useless ancestors who came to rape and all of that shit, became drunkards. You wouldn't name your child after a drunkard. An ancestor was a drunk, or a murderer, or anyone who committed serious atrocity, or you believe that his karmic debt will be paid by your child. So, most ancestors were trying to leave a legacy, a lasting legacy. So they will be appraised when they die, and they will be named after others and reincarnate them again when they die. So that's basically what it was. So everyone was striving to be a good person. So we will have a place like a place of gratitude or something,
Yeah.
or a
Gratitude,
shrine
yeah.
for all the great ancestors who came before us. Those who were trying to do all the great things, like Patrice Lumumba, like Sankara, like Kwame Nkrumah, like Konfanoche, like Anaya Santua, because the women too did some great work.
Exactly.
They were so very powerful.
Queen Zinga and all
Queen
that.
Zinga and all of them. So we also want to have our names be at where their names are, because they were human just like us. So we will try to do even better than they did. So part of ancestral reverence is not just connecting to any useless ancestors who didn't come to do anything, but those who came to do great and then continue their works. So you will be named in places as high as them, because you know you can be bigger than Patrice Lumumba, and the only limitation is in your mind. Because he was human just like you and I. You bet me I didn't intimate you. You bet me I can see us in home. Our Bible ne say, or see media move chili for no, move and cassia crossing. So conformity your air no, or see a conform with me I and cassia. If you see I that, it's a foundation. Yeah, I will be reinvented. It's in another time you mean see Abron sign and maybe you see Abron sign, see me and son. One another. Maybe as I say with me in a skyscraper, they are covered 20 levels. Because why foundation? I'm here, I was having 2 foundations for Fabric to see 3 levels. From 3 levels to say it's a coy. So advancing them is part of the reverence we are showing to the great.
Yeah. Whatever is in the present has a past, and whatever is in the present also has a future. And the only thing that we have now is the present. And we have the opportunity to be in the present because some people have already been in the past. So we are fortunate to be preparing for those that are going to come in the future. So in the future, we are going to be considered the ancestors. So when we get disconnected with our ancestry in this particular moment in time, or in this period of time, then we become disconnected with the energy, the powers, we become disconnected with the river bodies, we become disconnected with the science and technology, the secret knowledge systems that is in abundance for our use and also for our development. So if you want to know who you are, you have to go back to the family tree. And then the tree actually begins with that seed that was planted. So go back, look for the seed. Before the seed became a tree, before the tree blossomed into flowers, before it bore other fruits, and other fruits also gave birth to other trees. Look for that seed. If you find that seed, you would have found yourself.
So, na that should be uniho because one another one said, na so umba, they were quite bit to say, or the shoe be good form, or the some good form. Afro, so papa, and a mammy. Me put to be a more ding. It's Miss Row, and I'm moja. I want to a son of a bedroom. So, what to me being will be a fabua, and making me free access to be able. Nasa wo, and no crash your coy, you know, who was said to me now. Inti, and Kao Mamma Buana. A dear bonnet, and an animal jay. I am per se bet you would cry. Name and more for the woman animal. I bay ya bro. I am qua. I fear Japadia. And the idea to woman, I could see the beer you go sorry them, nay and animal dear. Yen did you cry 5 summer who couldn't go for moment. No more do moja to wide in, Monsieur Japadian in Sassiama, and yet is who did the air dosso. That's so, ye who almost said, oh dear, oh my bay for. And you can say, you show cry, chap.
We pay no other before.
I think.
Why is it like that?
Adia a canipa boom. Any dear titinipum. Dear in your media. Nebusia. It's me. A cabum, a quesibia, a ukudebia, a fascibia. And you go somewhere and another way we send one very simple. Nay, oh, Munyamo. Wahu na fufuo, wahu antimo, wahu sewamo, wahu wafafuo, wahu bia ya bidi abom, abompa ya abom, ehu na nafo abo nsu ahoro mbenom ye, aboso ahoro abusua ni mu, abo ene no ma bebre. Na ya che. Obi ba abusua ne ka bom a, we ni bibi na we pa adwuma na we wa adwuma, obo ne nua ma ne koso, ye nyina ye koso na ye kese. Eti ekwan ne nananom de bu abusua no ene se ne ye de kan ba fi na ye ntiti emu te se ya titi emu asori ebi ye SDA ebi ye Jehovah ebi ye Methodist ebi ye different religion eno so kra ye ntimi ware ye ho ye ntimi nkasa ye ho efi se we ya ye abusua ye kan e wo se moja ne kan ye bomu no ye de enoma eye less sin abusua e wo form sin abusua atiti emu moma yen kan ye ho mom na yen san kofi enko fa aba na ye nananom di dua ye no ye ko fa aba na ye di dua na ye de transfer asumdwe nu odoma abusua ne ka bom na ye dia afei yetimi bo yen hye so ban yetimi kan ye ho bom se we ne ye pese ye na abiman ye san nya ye ntoma pafra ye san ko hu ye nananom nyansa omudi gya yen omo haban omudi gya yen omo nuro ni haban ma omo ma yen omo spiritual science advanced science that transcends beyond nature and matter and living things omo the mind se san ko fa sa no ma wi a e da biman ye be san fa ntoma pafra na se yankofa de a ene ye yayira e be kina kwa ba ye hu ye ho ano da eti se ye yi oma omo be da no ne mpanimfo ahemfo ene ye ma mpanimfo ne ministers a ya ye dwene oma omo suo omo nananom omo suo bone omo dwene nsuo ni nsuo ne nkwaye ho ene sa no ma no sa nkofo no ene ye omo kenipa bom enye omo mbetiti emu da mo ase